I've told many of you in the past, but I just want to clear this up to begin with. I was conceived in North Carolina and born in Tennessee, so I'm bilingual. Like so many of us, especially in our age group, me and Dana, we're in that same decade, and you just get to travel all over America and meet wonderful people like y'all. I used to, back in the 80s, I would go to Murrells Inlet, South Carolina. There was an old boy down there named Tommy Chandler. And Tommy had 4 of the 21 seafood restaurants in Murrells Inlet. So you could just play one week. And they put you in the bar, Probably some of you have been to seafood restaurants in South Carolina. Here's what they do. They take you and put you in the bar and say, when your table's ready, we'll let you know. And as long as you're buying $6 beers, you don't get a table. And anyway, people will tip you down there. It's kind of like working Key West or any of those, beach towns. And I used to work this bar for Tommy it's called the Shrimper. There was an old shrimp boat that had blown up on the bank there out of the creek. And they built a deck around it, put a kitchen in it, and turned it into a seafood restaurant. Well, for those of you who might be know a little bit about Murrells Inlet, there's a place right on the creek. You look right out there, come in Murrells Inlet, and cook seafood. They bought seafood from the guys that went out there and caught it and then sold it to restaurants all over, And there's a whole bunch of guys. Now, if you're from Mayport, Florida, I don't mean to step on any toes, but there's some rough people in Mayport, Florida, and most of them are fishermen. Now, they're a good bunch of guys, but in the 80s, just think, you're going to go out there in all kind of weather, stay out there for 10 days, 2 weeks at a time, till you get your fish boxes filled up, and then you're going to come on the hill, they call it. Get back on the hill, that's the ground. You get back on the hill and sell your catch, and then you go back out and you do that again and again, and you do that till the season's over. Well, these boys will get out there, and they're just a bunch, there's like bikers in boats, carry big knives and got tattoos and 3 teeth, just hard-living boys. And they get out there, and I've been a boater my whole life, lived on a sailboat for years and traveled around. Anyway, you could spot them in the crowd. They were the guys with the big knives, Anyway, I was talking to one of them. There was a table on right down front where I was, and they didn't come there to eat, believe me. They just long necks. Anyway, I was talking to one of them on my first break, big old guy, and I said, how long do you boys stay out there? He said, it's at least 10 days usually before we get our boxes full and come in. And I said, what do you do if you run out of stuff? He said, well, there's a bunch of us out there, we talk on the radio and keep up with one another. He said, if we need something, we just trade with somebody. I said, yeah. I said, what's the best trade you ever made? He thought about it, and he said, well, one time I traded a roll of toilet paper for an ounce of pot. That's a good trade. On either end. But I remember this one night, these boys would come on the hill, and what they'd do, now I don't want to offend anybody's sensibilities, but we're all adults here. What they'd do, they'd come in, and this was in the 80s, it'd make about $900 a piece, And the first thing they'd do is buy them an 8 ball of cocaine and 16 cases of beer, and then 3 days later borrow money to get back to the boat. Hard-living boys now. I ain't kidding you, but there's this one big old boy, and he had a really good-looking tooth. Gold. One tooth was gold. And he kept going, sing a John Prine song. So, big guy, with a big knife, and I'm like, okay. I did Paradise, and I did, Sam Stone, and I did every John Prine song I could think of. And I had one more set. And that old boy come up, sitting right there, and he said, "Hey," he stood up and he said, "Play another John Prine song." I said, "I've got to take a break." He said, "When you come back, you're going to sing me another John Prine song." And this is the trick. Pulled that big knife up and just stuck it in the table right there. And I went, "I got you a John Prine song coming up." So on a 15-minute break, I wrote this song for him. I had a sordid affair with a lady named Claire, who turned out to be quite a boozer. She had quick opening thighs and bags neath her eyes, and a hairdo that rivaled Medusa. Tell me, why can't you love me like she did? Why can't we just get along? Oh, why can't we do the things we did in the days before I wrote this song? And little Michelle I remember quite well. She carried a 20-foot bullwhip. She had boots up to here and a rawhide brassiere, and she never ate nothing but Cool Whip. Tell me, why can't you love me like she did? Why can't we just get along? Oh, why can't we do the things we did in the days before I wrote this song? I had a pretty good deal with a girl named Lucille, who did all my washing and cooking. But she ended the fun when she became a nun. But I don't care, she weren't that good looking. Tell me, why can't you love me like she did? Why can't we just get along? Oh, why can't we do the things we did in the days before I wrote this song? And big old Marlene, she was a truck driving queen. She was an 18-wheel female gear jammer. She invited me up to see the cab of her truck, but I left when she put down my hammer. Tell me, why can't you love me like she did? Why can't we just get along? Oh, why can't we do the things we did in the days